Michigan, my Michigan. Thy lake-bound shores I long to see. Michigan, my Michigan. From Saginaw's tall whispering pines, from Lake Superior's farthest mines, there in the light of memory shine. Michigan, my Michigan, thou gave thy sons without
Wow.
sight.
Oh my God.
Michigan, my Michigan, and sent thy bravest forth to die. Michigan, my Michigan, beneath the hostile southern sky, they bore thy banner proud and high. From Yorktown on to Richmond's wall, Michigan, my Michigan, they bravely fight as bravely fall.
Woo! Woohoo!
Michigan, my Michigan, they're strong arms crumble in the dust, and their bright souls all have gathered rust. Memory is our sacred trust. Michigan, my Michigan. When the happy time shall come, Michigan, my Michigan, that brings thy war-worn heroes home. Michigan, my Michigan, what welcome from their own proud shore, what honors at their feet will pour, tears for those who'll come no more. Michigan, my Michigan. A grateful country claims them now. Michigan, my Michigan. A deathless laurel binds each brow. Michigan, my Michigan. And history, the tale will tell.
It's not very sharp. This would be it would be a pretty lousy.
That dear land we love so.
Yeah, but when you put it at the end here, it turns into a long spear. You see that? And then this turns into a very dangerous weapon. But this in itself isn't too bad. It wouldn't even cut some bread for you. This is
today. But before we actually get with the firing of the cannon, it would be good to get to know our cannon a little bit. Now, his name is a model 1841 6-pound smoothbore field gun. Now, does anyone remember that? Can repeat it to me? Didn't think so.
18-something pounds.
18 some, oh, not 18, 6 pounds. And it's called a 6-pounder because the cannonball that we would fire would weigh 6 pounds. And an example of that is right here, and I'll pass that around so everyone can get a chance. So yeah, don't test it. And so, this cannon will be designed to shoot a 6-pound cannonball from this cannon. And we would be expecting to shoot this cannonball to a maximum distance of 1 mile, which is just past the shores of Round Island out there. However, I also said that this is a smoothbore cannon. That means the inside of the cannon is just as smooth as the outside. So there's no spin that gets put on the ball when it flies out. So it's very inaccurate. So the best I can tell you is that if we were firing the live cannonball, we would hit that tree. No, the green one. as you see, that's not terribly specific. A more accurate distance would be around half a mile, which is at the end of the break rocks. And I've been talking to all the captains of the ferries, but I haven't been able to convince any of them to stop their ferry right at the end for us. And if we did, a trained artillery crew of 8 to 9 men would be expected to hit that stationary ferry 1 out of every 3 times, and they would be considered excellent. However, myself and Kelly are not an excellent cannon crew. And actually, we won't even be firing a cannonball for you folks today. So all of you can say, Trust me, there's nothing I would love more than to shoot a cannonball all the way there and see that big splash in the water. But there's a couple important reasons we can't. One of them is that the cannonball that we get from our bosses is a little too big for the cannon. Another one of the reasons is that whole safety issue. But the most important reason that we can't shoot a cannonball is the fact that it would be historically inaccurate. Myself and Kelly are dressed to represent soldiers of the 1880 infantry. And now, in 1875, Mackinac Island became the nation's second national park behind Yellowstone. And so, unless I'm mistaken, I have never heard of a national park being very aggressive or needing to defend itself. So this cannon would have just been here for salute purposes. So when we raised the flag in the morning and we lowered it at night, we would set off a blank salute charge. Pretty much a bag of gunpowder and nothing else. So it sets off a big boom, and that's about it. And so with that, we're going to step back and we're going to actually fire a salute for you folks today. And to start off this process, we need to clean the cannon first. So I'm going to start that off by putting a thumb patch on my thumb and perform what is called thumb stalling. And there's a touch hole in the back of the cannon that I cover up. And this is very important because it prevents air from entering from the back of the cannon, which makes it a much safer process for Kelly, which I'm sure you like that. And so the first tool Kelly's going to use is this gunner's worm, or an auger. It's kind of like a double corkscrew at the end of a stick. And he's going to put that into the cannon and try to take out any debris that might be stuck in there. And this is important because if we have too much debris, then we wouldn't be able to fire a cannon properly, and this would just be a big heavy piece of metal. But also, we want to take out any debris that would have any sparks or issues, because obviously it would be a pretty bad idea to put live gunpowder onto a live fire. Am I right?
Yes.
And so the next tool Kelly's going to use is this wet swab, and it's kind of like a big, dirty, wet Q-tip. He's going to dump that into a bucket of water and slide that into the cannon. And we do this to try to prevent any fire from existing. And this does it in 2 ways. And the first way is that it's wet, so it gets rid of any water. But also, you hear that thump right there when Kelly pulled out the wet swab. That means there was a vacuum created. And so a chemistry lesson for all you folks, fire can't exist in a vacuum. So we are now safe to put in our charge. Now our charge today is 3 ounces of black powder. Now in the 1880s, they would have used 10 ounces. And when they would have used real cannonballs from this gun platform, they would have been firing with 20 ounces. So you see how the progression of time it's gone down. And we are going to put that in with this carved safety ramrod. And now in the 1880s, they were much more efficient. They would have used a straight ramrod. But the only problem with that is they would have put Kelly's chest right in front of our cannon, which is the most dangerous place to be on a loaded cannon. So to prevent that from happening, we use this cart safety ramrod. So in case of an accident, we only lose the ramrod, we don't lose our beloved Kelly.
Michigan, my Michigan.
And now we're not firing just yet, so you can uncover your ears. I will tell you when we will. And now the first tool that Kelly's going to use is this gimlet, or a brass spike. And he's going to poke a hole into our aluminum foil charge to try to make sure that the gunpowder can be exposed, or ignition device. Now our ignition device today is a friction primer. It was invented around the 1840s, so it would have been around at the time that this cannon was invented. And it works like a hand grenade and a rocket. So you pull this pin out just like a hand grenade. And at the top here is friction sensitive material, like you'd find at the end of a match. So you pull this pin out, and there's a spark at the top here. And now this tube is filled with very fine gunpowder. And so when it sparks up and the gunpowder explodes, it goes down into the barrel of the cannon, into the hole that he poked, setting up our big bang for us. And so with that, it looks like Kelly's just about ready to fire. And so I will need you folks to help me out with the commands, because it's been a long day, my voice is actually going a little hoarse. And so, so this is practice, Kelly. And so this part of the crowd will help me with the first command, which is ready. And when I point, you folks say ready.
Ready!
All right, it might have to be a little louder, but it'll do for now. And now you folks have perhaps the more exciting command, and we really need to hear this, which is fire. So when I point, yell fire. There's about half of them over here, but they're twice as loud. I'm not sure how that works. And so with that, I need to warn everyone that it will be loud, so cover up your ears. And then we are ready to fire this cannon with the two commands, which are...
Ready! Fire!
And after Canada selects walking you all to Fort Mackinac Island. The War of 1812 and Mackinac Island's important role in that conflict. And also, there's going to be a children's tour about how children, what they would do in their free time, and it ends with some fun games, and that's led by the officer's wife. So I highly recommend whichever tour you go on, you'll love it. So please questions. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful day.
Whoa, whoa, good job, Peter!
Michigan, my Michigan.